And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh&fit podcast, man. It's Friday. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
And we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh&fit podcast, man. Regular edition is Friday. We were actually going to do an IRL stream today, but
This came up.
So now we got to go ahead and address it because it's all over X and all over the internet because, people love drama and love gossip, and it's kind of ridiculous that we have to go ahead and talk about this. But I guess we're here. So quick announcement before we get into the show, rumble.com/freshfit. As you guys know, that is the home base for us. CastleClub.tv. Also new Instagrams. Not Unplugged Fit is my new one that I just made. And then what's yours? You made one too, right?
So
we got canceled.
There's one out there that says not Freshman CEO. That is not me, actually.
Yeah, what's your real one? So
CEO Network Life.
CEO Network Life.
Yeah.
Okay, and then not Unplugged
So the one
Fit.
that you're following now.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So we already got 8,600 y'all in here on YouTube, and then 5,000 on Rumble. Man, people love drama, I guess, huh?
I'm telling you. But guys, if you're watching for the first time, watching a long-time viewer, live show. April 26th, here in Miami.
Yeah.
Special
facts.
guests.
Yeah.
We have academics, Andrew Wilson, TK Kirkland. Some of the guests we can't say right now, but all coming to the show live in person.
Live show April 26th.
Meet and greet, VIP will be there.
And thanks to all the haters that made hit pieces that brought all the people over here. You're a free advertising group, you pieces of shit, man.
Thank you, guys.
You fucking dickheads. Some of y'all. But anyway.
It's funny because people tell a story without the full story.
Of course.
They think they know everything, and it's just like
They don't know everything.
chilling, relaxing.
They're just, they got all this to say, you know what I mean? And the reality is, man, we pay a lot of people's bills, man. Like, people
we
say,
fed them.
oh, Fresh and Fit. Like, you're only relevant. But as soon as something happens, all you guys do, oh, let me talk about Fresh and Fit. Oh, look at this. Did you hear about this?
And isn't it funny?
Crazy.
A 3 or 4 is telling a story, and they believe it.
And all the simps are believing
Line and sinker without any talk from me at all.
Nothing.
Isn't that
They didn't hear your side, they believe it automatic.
But they like to hate. They want to hate me. I get it. But without the facts, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Speculating.
Speaking of facts, we got a special guest in the house, matter of fact.
we do.
brought in the big guns for this one because we knew.
Best attorney for divorce and family matters, James Sexton in the house.
He's calling in from New York.
Yes. Gentlemen, it's all fun and games until the lawyer shows up, you know?
Yeah, man. Obviously, we ain't messing around on this one because, I mean,
it's serious.
Obviously, we were making some jokes on last week or whatever about it, but no, man. I mean, this is some pretty serious stuff. So
yeah. This is as serious gets. I appreciate you guys having me on. I've been talking to both of you for quite some time, and as soon as I can get myself out of a courtroom into Miami, I'm excited to spend some time with you. But
please do.
Yeah, when I spoke to Walter earlier today, I said, all right, well, you know what? I think I got to jump on and be the one to say a few things because I know he is dying to say a whole bunch of things, and a lot of those things he got to discuss with me that are subject to attorney-client privilege. But to then share them with the world right now is a challenging kind of a thing and would be absolutely against my advice. Sorry to spoil the party to everyone who wanted to hear all the salacious details at this moment. However, there are some things that need to be said, and I'm happy to say them. What I'll say, first of all, is you know what? I have good news and I have bad news. You've had a hell of a week, so I'm going to let you pick what you want first. You want the good news first? You want the bad news first?
Man, it's been tough, bro. Yo, just give me good news, bro. Give us the good news, man.
Good news? Okay. Yeah. Here's the good news. There's a lot of question as to when a man can truly say he's successful. You know, I have a client who's worth $8 billion. I represent professional athletes, celebrities, primarily because I'm based in New York City. I represent a lot of people in finance, hedge fund people, crypto people. And there's always a question about when are you really successful? Is it your first 10 million when you become an 8-figure kind of guy? Is it the first time you buy a Lambo and you pay cash for it? Is it the first time you fly private? Is it the first time you buy a jet? Is it when is it? And what I will say as someone who's been practicing family law for 25 years is a man is really not truly successful until the 304s come out of the woodwork and say, I have your baby. I'm pregnant with your baby. I need to talk to you about the baby. What are we going to do about the baby? And surprisingly, instead of having that conversation like a civilized human being with a working prefrontal cortex, most of the time what they choose to do is to post it on social media, because that's absolutely what a good future mom potentially, or rational human being who's not just looking to shake someone down for money would do. You'd go right to social media. It certainly isn't the kind of thing a clout chasing no one would do. So ultimately, I want to congratulate you. That's the good news, is that you have officially arrived, my friend, and you are sitting among some of the greatest, most celebrated, wealthiest people in the world, many of whom I have represented, but you never heard anything really about it other than the little momentary blip that it came up, if at all, because they did what is now unfortunately going to be the bad news. And that is, there are two words, my friend, that are not in your vocabulary currently, and they haven't been for years, and it's the reason why you're successful. But you need to repeat those two words after me, so let's practice together right now. Ready? No.
No.
Comment.
Oh, comment. Okay. Okay.
No.
No.
Comment.
Comment. All right.
Okay, so you've got to learn to say that.
Wait.
And it's really unfortunate because I know you are dying to talk about many of the things, many of the counter narrative, the facts as opposed to the fictions, the way that things are weaponized and weaponized inappropriately, the massive holes in stories, that there's a lot to be discussed. But revenge is a dish best served cold.
Wait,
right now,
Okay.
there are civil and criminal penalties for the kinds of behaviors that we're looking at right now. So I want you, as your counsel, and again, you're free to ignore my advice. Plenty of times people ignore my advice, and sometimes I'm grateful when they do it because it creates a lot more chaos, which makes me a lot more money. Peace does not make me any money. Chaos makes me money. But I'm telling you, my advice to you, and I've said this to you earlier privately, is there has to be, for the moment, no specific comment. There really has to be, because the level of issues that are being caused right now by a third party in terms of what they are exposing themselves to. There's an old saying, never interrupt the enemy when they're in the process of committing suicide. And this is a situation where you are, as much as I know, you are dying to get the counter narrative and the facts out there, the reality out there, as opposed to the garbage that's out there right now.
Yeah.
An intelligent, strategic, successful man knows that irrationality, impulsivity, and emotionalism are luxuries reserved for the ladies. They are not for an intelligent, strategic, thoughtful man who is making tactical moves on the advice of counsel. So that is my little rant. That is my little caveat. And I'm glad you gave me the chance to say.
I got to say one thing, though.
Yeah.
First and foremost,
We do have the phone call.
we do have the phone call, but I will say this. I personally should not have nutted within a 304 like this. Now, granted, things happen, whether true or not, but like you said, James, I'll keep my mouth shut because I have some info here I want to share with the chat.
This record, I have to tell you, the recording we are discussing, and in all of these situations, when there is a recording of this kind, which there always is, because why would you be recording the conversation unless you plan to use that to stick somebody up?
Yeah.
Normal, rational human beings who are acting in good faith don't record their conversations. Especially too when they're being mindful of the fact that there's a difference between a one-party state and a two-party state when it comes to consent for recordings, and that, again, it's a felony in the state of Florida to record a conversation without the consent of the other party. And if you then publish it, that's a separate felony. So that's two felonies for the price of one. But again, the reality here is, if you want to play the recording, go ahead. People have heard it. People have listened to it. You know what? Congratulations. You're important enough of a person that people actually pay attention when someone's talking about you. And that is in and of itself an accomplishment. There are a whole lot of guys right now who a girl is calling them and saying, I'm having a baby and it's definitely yours. And nobody cares. No one would care. No one's interested. Everyone's just looking at it going, okay, whatever, it happens. The reality is, in your situation, everybody's very interested in this. Everybody wants to talk about it. But again, the reality for you is there are civil and criminal remedies for the kinds of things that are happening here.
Yeah.
And they're not to be leveled at you. So if we want to listen to that recording, you want to play that recording for anybody who's been under a rock and didn't get to hear it, fine. The only context I would give before playing it is listen to it. Is that a normal conversation? Is this a conversation of a woman who is having a sincere conversation with a human being? Or is this someone who knows that they're recording this? And when you know you're the one who's recording the conversation and that you can change it, modify it, splice it, edit it, you don't hear what was on the call before, you don't hear what was on the call after. And to be candid, guys, I don't know if anybody realizes we're living in 2024. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a courtroom where there is audio that we've had to have digital forensic experts come in, spend $30,000 to show that it was modified audio. You can go right now. There's any number of products available right now from OpenAI, ChatGPT, all the various companies that are doing this type of work, where you can take small snippets of someone's audio and you can have this person saying 5 or 10 sentences, and then you can literally dub anything that's to be said. And I have to tell you, you may not know it, guys, there's a lot of recordings of you talking out there. I could put together if you said almost any word in the English language, I could find an example of you saying it. So again, I think it's very, very important, if you're going to listen to this or any recording of some poor innocent young woman who's calling some fellow and just happens to be recording it and just happens to be making sure that when she's having that conversation, she seems like something of a victim in the situation and keeps steering the situation in directions that would make for good internet publication. When you listen to it with that ear. See if it sounds a little bit different.
Let's play it just for the audience to kind of, because it's kind of actually crazy when you listen to it, and it's amazing that like people don't have the critical thinking skills to not see that clearly this was like intentional. And it's funny because she made this phone call and then literally within minutes it's up on Instagram. And
I have to tell you,
I was like, what the hell?
I could have dubbed this call because as I'm listening, I'm going, oh yeah, it's this one. Like I have listened now to 50 of these from professional athletes, influencers, hedge fund guys, top name surgeons in the city at top hospitals. I mean, it really is. Successful men have a target on their back. And this is one of the most classic old school shakedowns. This is one of those ones that, again, I could do the phone call. Like I could have told you. I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, it's that. It's like she went in and picked like menu option A, and that's the call. It's like I could, if it wasn't breaking attorney-client privilege, I got about a half a dozen celebrities that you've probably seen in films and TV that I'd put you in touch with, and they'd go, oh yeah, I got that call. I remember that call. Her name was Janet. Oh, I remember that call. That was Kiki. And that's how it is. And by the way, you guys live in the city where those calls always come from. I don't know what it is about Miami. Maybe that's why I haven't come on. I'm afraid I'm going to show up in Miami and suddenly I'll get out of the airplane and someone will claim they're pregnant with my child. Like I'm afraid that will happen instantly when I get off of the plane at MIA airport.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Play it.
No worries. We'll run it real quick, and then I know Fresh can't talk as much, but I'll give a little bit of my commentary because I haven't said anything about this shit either, and obviously. Let's just play the call real fast. Yeah. Let's just play it.
Go for it.
Obviously, I know that there's legal proceedings going on. Go ahead, Bills. My bad.
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing.
Pause.
Pause.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but she's using extreme language and she's calling, saying, "I don't want to do this," etc. And she's fishing for a response, right? It's very obvious. And the thing too is that, like, I mean, I know this. Like, there was an agreement that they weren't gonna ever have kids. Like, but why is she calling now saying, "Oh, I'm pregnant"?
It's so funny because how she's talking, I'm like shocked because I'm like, normally you don't talk like this.
Yeah.
It's more like it's following a script.
Yeah.
Almost. But I'm like,
And it's good on your part because you didn't really say too much.
nah.
But it's
I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
yeah.
So-
again, there was an agreement that they weren't gonna like have kids or anything like that, and then now she's coming in saying like, "Oh, I'm pregnant and I don't want to kill the baby" and all this other stuff, and it's like, what the hell? Like,
And she
bro.
brought in religion.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing right now?
she's not religious, guys. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on.
I want to keep the baby.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids.
Pause.
You know?
Very obvious fishing for a response, like, what the hell are you doing? No, you better not, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was trying to fish for an emotional reaction to make you look crazy there.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, we can keep.
And this is a pretty classic tactic, guys, because the reality is that, I've done this in a courtroom so many times. I've played these kinds of recordings. I can't tell you how many times I've heard "What are you doing? No, don't hit me. Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
What is that knife? Why do you have that knife?" And meanwhile, my client's like, I was on the other side of the room. And I had a banana in my hand that I was eating, you know. And she, "Oh, my God, what is that gun you're holding?" You know, so the sound I have heard many times, the sound I just heard, and that is the sound of a man who almost sounds like he's got PTSD. But he's like, wait, what are we talking about? What is going on? Like, who am I talking to right now? This sounds insane. Who speaks this way? Who pauses in that way as if for, okay, now let's let you talk. Let's get some dramatic effect going. Like, this is not a conversation between two adults who are talking about something not for performance purposes, one-sided performance purposes, but because they actually want to have a dialogue. And again, ask yourselves, what kind of person, if you were dealing with something truthful and this serious, does this, records it, and immediately publishes it on the internet, and then continues to follow it up with more internet postings? What kind of human being, is a serious human being do that? Does